And today we want to share our results of a project called CC-MAP. It's the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA, who has funded this project, and it has been running for 1.5 years here in cooperation with the medical faculties here at Gajamada, but also the medical faculty at Umeå University in northern Sweden. Now the project is coming to an end, and then we want to disseminate the results, but do that in such a way that we also broaden our networks. So we have some distinguished guests with us here today, and we are really happy for that. Today's symposium is arranged to focus on an important issue of our time, namely climate change and the impacts on human health. Could I have my presentation? We have to wait a minute. You are allowed to talk to each other while waiting.
Meanwhile, we are waiting for the slide. I would just like to inform that all the materials for today can be downloaded through the site, that is www.banchanakasehatan.net. Thank you.
And while we are waiting, I might as well also tell you that we have an exhibition outside, posters and also exhibitors here. And we will actually have a prize for one of you. We would like you to go around the presentation, the exhibition, when we have lunch break and coffee breaks. And then on a piece of paper, tell us what one you think is the best one, and also write a motivation why you think that poster or exhibitor is the best presentation. And at the end of the day, when I do my conclusions, we'll tell you who has won a prize. So remember to do that. Take a walk around the exhibitions. Okay, can I have the next slide, please? 2 days ago, 9 people were killed in North Sumatra from a landslide. And in fact, Indonesia is one of the most vulnerable countries in the world for climate change due to a combination of high population density, thank you, high levels of biodiversity, a very long coastline, almost 18,000 islands. All these together makes the country highly vulnerable. And this tragic event illustrates the need for us to do something and collaborate on preventing climate change effects. Of course, mitigate, make sure that we reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but also adapt, because it's happening here. The world is here now. We need also to make sure that we have a better preparedness and that we can also have a better response when things happen. And we have to work from the global to the local level to reduce those tragic events in the future and the impacts from them. In our project, our aim has been to build a more solid base for policy decisions on climate change mitigation and adaptation within the health sector in Indonesia and Sweden, with a special emphasis on the use of e-health. And we have so far made 3 reports and also 3 scientific papers. The 3 reports are on decision-making structures in the health sector in the 2 countries, because we really need to understand each other's decision-making structures to be able to collaborate in a good way. We have also looked at the existing policies for climate change mitigation and adaptation, including policies also on e-health. And then we have also made an assessment on climate-related vulnerabilities and health risks. We have also made a pilot study on health professionals' perceptions of climate change and the role they think they have in the work. We have made an assessment of e-health readiness, a review of e-health in disaster management, and tomorrow we will do a live simulation in Gunung Kidul based on a tabletop exercise. And this is carried out by Saditi Hospital disaster management team, but also with the professionals in the health sector and in other relevant sectors in Gunung Kidul. We also want to build capacity together between our two universities, and we have so far registered 2 PhD students in Umeå, but coming from Yogyakarta, and they actually will shape the core of a future group here that will work on climate change and health research. And before I conclude, I would just like to say that this is something I would like to see being shaped with more researchers and more young researchers, because this is such an important subject for us now, but also in the future. And by showing this picture, like it is now in Sweden, at least that dark picture. We have snow now. I would like just to hand over to Mrs. Annika Siewitz from the Swedish Embassy in Jakarta. Please give her a hand.